Could start with Stipe, please. Obviously, congratulations on a fantastic win for you tonight. The crowd didn't like necessarily your game plan. What was that like for you? Knowing obviously that the smart thing to do was not to stand in front of them. Was it difficult to stay disciplined and stick to your game plan?
Well, no. I mean, I was fine standing up with him too. I feel like I was teeing off on him when I wanted to. You know, he's got a big hand. He's got a good left hook. You know, I wasn't phased at all. You know, when I took him down, I realized it wasn't really hard to take him down. So why not? I was watching the clock, taking my time, wasn't trying to punch myself out. I got some good punch down too, so I don't know why they're doing. But hey, you know what? It's the game. You know, I can't make everyone happy, but that's why I got the W. That's all I care about.
A lot of us, and I saw a lot of talk online, people thought that maybe his corner shouldn't have sent him out. Maybe the fight should have been stopped earlier. Can you tell us what you saw and what you were thinking?
I just saw that I was winning and I was going to keep going forward until I stopped the fight or I got the decision. I didn't care. I mean, of course, I was looking for the finish. There's no question. You know, I felt like I got a guy, you know, early in the rounds, but you know, he's a tough guy. You know, that's why I didn't let go how long they did. You know, but you know, I was going to keep digging in, and finally stopped it, which is fine. You know, I was having some good shots.
Thanks, Steve. And Tom, I know you're not always the most brash and outspoken executive on the UFC payroll, but can we get your opinion on that? I mean, is you being in charge of this event and watching it from cage side, were you starting to get a feeling that, hey, maybe this fight shouldn't go on any longer?
Yeah, listen, I'm not a referee. You know that very well, John. But yeah, from my perspective, I think that they probably could have stopped it earlier. But in the end, I mean, listen, I'm not standing right on top of these two guys. You know, Mark Hunt is as tough as they come, and Stipe obviously demonstrated his skills. And so, you know, it is what it is. You can't change it now, but we'll just look forward.
Do you think you deserve the shot at Kane or Verdum ahead of those two guys fighting next, or would you look to take the winner of those five?
I don't really want a shot. You know, I think he was a fifth-rate guy. They did pretty well at it. You know, I dominated pretty well. You know, but you know, I don't say it's like UFC, but I think you want it. I would love to have it. You know, and ranked fourth. But, you know, it's a fifth-rate guy, pretty good. So, you know, see what happens. But right now, I'm worried about hanging with my family and doing all this stuff.
It's a question for Stipe. Stipe, congratulations on your win. During the fight, you were landing a lot of strikes on Mark. Just wanted to go into your thought process for a moment. During the fight, when you were landing all those punches, did you ever have a thought cross your mind, what do I have to do to put this guy away? And a lot of people were worried, will he punch himself out? Did you ever feel like you were getting close to that stage?
No, you know, great coaches, you know, they you know, got good game plan for me, and you know, I kept throwing punches, you know, I was looking for opportunities, you know, I take a little break, catch him, you know, put a little pressure on him, make him a little bit more tired, and start working on him again. You know, I felt pretty good the whole time, you know. Then the third round I felt a little tired, but then, you know, my lungs opened up a little bit more and I felt great after that.
I had a chat with some people in your camp, and they mentioned that although the Junior Dos Santos fight did a lot for you, you felt like you had a bit of a chip on your shoulder after that fight because you didn't get the win. Now you've got your win, you showed the world what you can do. It was an impressive victory. Has that chip kind of come off your shoulder a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, it sucked losing in December to GDS. You know, he's a tough guy, man. You know, tough as they come, but it really sucked. But you know, definitely getting the win over Mark. You know, and you know, anytime telling me he's going to knock me out. You know, I feel my fight. I don't really get mad too much, but that really, I don't know why, it's got under my skin a little bit. And you know, it is what it is. You know, I understand it's part of the game. And, you know, he's knocked people out. He's walked away, but you know, I'm a different breed. So.
Stipe, just a question for you. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Do you have a desire to fight in the Melbourne card? Obviously, for us down under, this is probably the biggest, and across the world, it's probably one of the biggest we'll see. Do you have a desire to be part of that, maybe as a headline act?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of whatever, you know. They are my bosses, so I mean, they tell me when and where. You know, but I love it. I have family from Melbourne, so like, you know, either way, I'm going to come watch the fights, and do it on or not. You know, they'll know them actually multiple times, so whatever. I mean.
So it's a realistic possibility for you.
Every time.